Hey, we're Matt, and welcome back to one more adventure.
And welcome to the capital of Laos, Vientiane. We arrived here earlier today on a bus and just spent the afternoon kind of organising what we're going to do here. And I have now come out for some food tonight and see what the street life is like in an evening.
Yeah, definitely tell it's a capital, everything. You can see the billboards, even electronic behind us. It's a total change for us, but very cool. It's still Laos, you can definitely get that feel, but let's go see. Food time.
Oh yeah! We found a stand that has a table we can sit down at and hopefully some really good pad thai. We're looking forward to it and so hungry. So we've just had a pad thai at a really nice food stand, absolutely awesome. And now I think it's time to try and find some dessert. There are so many stalls around this market that we're going to find something awesome. No, not maybe crocodile. I think we found our dessert spot. Definitely going to go for a roti. Okay, that's impressively fast. I started trying that at home, I've lost all my fingers. So we just got back to our hostel and made ourselves some coffee to have with the rotis. They look absolutely awesome. I got the banana and chocolate, Matt got the banana. But yeah, this is a good dessert.
That's a lot of chocolate.
Chocolate's so good. Yeah, chocolate for the win. Good morning. This is gonna be our first full day in Vientiane. We're just gonna kind of walk around the city, try and get a feel for the place and visit some monuments and I think the Cope Visitor Centre as well.
Yep, just hitting up a few sites. It's actually quite a nice day, it's not so muggy yet.
Just walking around Vientiane, we're just kind of wandering around and we've come back across the Mekong and Thailand is there yet again. So we've gone from being 20 kilometers from the border in China right back to the border of Thailand and we'll be crossing over to Vietnam in what, 3 days? So. We're here at the Wat Sisaket temple and I think out of all the temples here we were told that this one is one to visit in Vientiane. It's just opposite the presidential palace and if I'm not mistaken I think it was built around the 1600s and first impressions are pretty sweet.
So a lot of the temples actually are in walking distance. There's kind of two main streets if you come to the centre and kind of you usually be based around there. It's where the guest houses are and the hostels. And yeah, so these are just like walking distance, don't need a scooter, you just take your time and come to. Yeah, it's actually really pretty. It's the old architecture, you know, it's not the modernised one, it's just nicely upkept. So if you're like me, I do get fidgety. If I'm in one place for too long, I kind of get fidgety. So towns like this where there's a lot of small places, smaller temples, you can go, see, take a picture and then move on. And you can just walk around the town and see lots of things. A lot of these things aren't even on the map. We just fall across cool places like this. It's just quite enjoyable, I have to admit. You don't have to spend so much time. It's a lot of the same after a while, I think that's what I'm trying to say.
This morning we spent a bit of time just Googling a few things and so we just pointed them out on Maps.me and we're not following a specific route but just in our minds we're kind of I think we want to do this route and you come across some places like this that we hadn't even found out.
Yeah, nice looking.
we've just arrived here at the Cope Visitor Center, and it was one of the main things that came up when looking on everything to do here in Vientiane. And what a lot of people actually realise is the major role Laos played in the Vietnam War, and even today there are still people that are being affected by the Linux-exploded landmines in the country. And so the Visitor Centre is to pay tribute to all of those that have been affected.
Yeah, that was really actually eye-opening and interesting. I think either of us realised just how affected Laos had been during the Vietnam War. They were saying that there was over 580,000 bombing missions done by the Americans during the war, and I think that equates to over 200 million bombs that were dropped throughout the whole period.
Yeah, and they were saying obviously if everything that fell, about 10 to 30% actually didn't detonate, so there's still a problem today, hence why there's I think 3,000 people still looking for the mines today and still causing havoc. Like, luckily less because the what the work that's been done basically, than actually find them before it's too late.
And the whole visitor centre is really nice and informative as well, and so obviously there's information about like the war and what happened, but then also the ongoing help that they are carrying out to those that have been affected with the prosthetics and the just all the appliances. They are trying to help in the more communities that are a bit more further afield as well.
Yeah. So what we did learn is, and what we didn't actually know, so yeah, Laos is the most bombed country in the world, mainly because it's just proximity to Vietnam. It was a big trade route for Vietnam and getting resources through Laos in general, and so obviously hence why the country itself was so heavily bombed. It stopped that trade route basically.
Yeah, and so while the actual, you can visit it completely free, it's really informative, and there's actually a little donation box as well, so just make sure to leave a little something for them.
Again, just walking back to our hostel, actually, we came across a sign, and we are now at that damn stupa. I'm not kidding you, that is the name. Go see some bubbles. So we've just arrived at the Buddha Park. It is about a 30-minute bus ride out of town. Really easy to get to once you get to the bus station. It's bus number 14 here, and it was so much cheaper than getting a scooter rented for the day. So entrance to the place here is 15,000, and let's go find some Buddhas.
Oh, it's not made for tall people. Whoa.
I think you can just about stand back.
Bash my head. Ooh, more stairs.
We're continuing with our tourist attraction checklist. Yeah, so the Buddha Park is, it's not a huge amount here, but it's just a bit of fun. The park is full of like, I think 100 different Buddhas of all different shapes, sizes, and
A lot of Buddhas.
yeah, there's a lot of Buddhas. It's a bit of fun though, so.
Yeah, there's not a terrible amount to do in town, so you kind of have to come out of town. Luckily the buses are there. If not, you can rent a scooter. It's just a lot cheaper to rent the bus. Yeah, just I think we're a little bit surprised how little there is to do in town, but this isn't far, and it's really pretty. It's really nice. She's going to break something again.
No, I'm not. I swear. Why would I do that?
Pretty cool longboat though.
I'm not sure it's supposed how long it is. Like, it's really long.
And you got a baby one.
Baby is still rather big.
And that's Thailand just in front of us again.
I didn't expect to be back in front of the Mekong with Thailand the other side. I just, my geography was completely off with Laos, but yeah, here we are.
It's a nice little park if you have the time, or if you have the time in the afternoon, you don't really know what to do. It's a nice park to come out of the city, walk around for a bit. They've got a children's play area, they've got like a little cafe. But apart from that, I don't know if I'd really say it's somewhere that you have to come.
Which is funny because it is like one of the biggest attractions when you come to Vientiane. We're having a hard time actually finding a good like point of view for Vientiane. We were expecting so much more from a capital. We don't want to really be negative in any of our videos, but you just expect a little bit more. And even the town itself isn't like, it's not impressive. It's like a lot of the other towns. It's nothing different. Just having a hard time being motivated about this place.
The thing is as well, we're not someone that's going to hop from cafe to cafe, and that really seems like the thing here in Vientiane is all of the French coffee shops and the pastries, and
yeah,
we're travelling on a budget, so we don't want to start going to every single coffee shop and just eat into our budget so much.
No, we're also here to see the culture as well, and so this is one of the places that said stood out with lots of Buddhas and the statues, and it's just a little bit underwhelming. Cheers! 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 Cheers!
We have arrived at the bus station here in Vientiane. So this is the South bus station and also the international bus station. Behind us here we have our sleeper bus, which we will be catching in about an hour or so to head off to Hanoi.
Yeah, this is the last view of Laos. We've actually been really excited about this. This is the last transport that we haven't done. We've done the minivans, the sleeper trains and so on. And yeah, this is the last one. So we're kind of excited and nervous at the same time about just how good or bad it's going to be. Yeah, this is cool.
Yeah, looking forward to it, whether it's a bad or good trip. It'll be good.
You good?